welcome to the Delaware Mortgage Rate Weekly Mortgage Market Update for the week of November 3rd, 2014. Hello, I'm John Thomas with Primary Residential Mortgage, here to give you your update. Well, last week, Delaware mortgage rates did move slightly higher. If you take a look at the bond chart on the screen, you can see that we were trading in a sideways pattern, but then the last week, bonds started drifting lower, which has moved interest rates slightly higher. Now, the short-term pattern there is for interest rates to move higher as the bond sells off. So what's been causing this? Well, the stock market has been on a huge rally. It sold off, but it's rallied back since then. The Dow on Friday set another all-time record high. So as the money gets pulled out of the bond market into the stock market, that hurts mortgage interest rates. So we were able to hammer out a bottom on Friday, so we're going to recommend cautiously floating your Delaware mortgage rate to start the week. But be mindful, the short-term trend is for bonds to sell off, so rates could move slightly higher, but we're looking for the bonds to hold and make a recovery, and that's why we're going to recommend floating. If they do sell off and break below support, we would quickly recommend switching to a locking stance. Now, if we dig into some of the economic reports last week, the big one was the Federal Reserve announced that they are officially ending their asset purchase program, QE3. They are currently buying $15 billion worth of mortgage bonds and treasuries, and that is done end of October, so that is now over. They will reinvest the interest and the payoffs from their current holdings, which is about $4 trillion, but they're not going to be purchasing any new purchases. So we're going to have to see how that plays out. Historically, every time they ended QE1 and they ended QE2, the stock market sold off, but this time it actually rallied, but we can see if it does sell off, but currently it's rallied. So we are going to cautiously float our rate, looking for the stock market to sell off. If it continues to rally, that would be bad for mortgage bonds. Now, we did have the first reading of the GDP for the third quarter come out at 3.5%. That was up from expectations of 3%, but down from the final reading of the second quarter of 4.5%. And in that reading, it was a bad report of manufacturing and consumer sentiment are actually down. So that was not great news there on the GDP report. And then weekly initial jobless claims came out on Thursday. 287,000 claims for the week. That's up 3,000 claims, but still well below the 300,000 mark. So weekly initial jobless claims, very good report. Below the 300,000 is a good sign for the labor market. And this Friday, we do have the jobs report for October. So we'll be looking out for that. That could move the market either way. Housing news. We had pending home sales for September 2014, up 0.3% from August at 105 million units. Pending home sales measures the number of signed contracts on existing homes. So year over year, pending home sales are now up 1%, the first annual gain in 11 months. And inventories are starting to build, up 6% from a year over year. So inventories are building. That means the housing market is slowing. Now the Case-Shiller price index for August 2014 came out. It was up 5.6% year over year, but that's down from July's year over year of 6.7%. So another sign that the housing market is slowing. So appreciation, homes are still going up in value, but the housing market is slowing from the reports we're getting. So we'll have to keep an eye on that to see. We still want to see appreciation. We don't want to see it go back the other way. In the local news, the next free first-time homebuyer seminar is Saturday, November 22nd in Newark, Delaware at the Christiana Hilton Hotel from 10 a.m. to noon. And the next one in Dover is Saturday, December 6th from 10 a.m. to noon at the Dover Holiday Inn. You can register for either one of those events by giving us a call in the office, 302-703-0727, or register online, www.delawarehomebuyerSeminar.com. Look forward to seeing you guys next week.